Talent Acquisition Early Career Program Manager. So I handle all things early careers, including campus recruiting, our university partnerships, career center and faculty relationships, our internship program, our summer internship program that we host every year, our entry-level opportunities, our D&I, our diversity and inclusion efforts, and more. So I'm happy to be here today. We have been attending your campus events for about, I would say, starting this fall semester we started. So we're excited to see what we have down the line with you all. And also, I am a proud Toro. So I graduated from Cal State Dominguez Hills and was actively involved on campus, being a part of the dance team. And I was an active member as well as the president of the Black Student Union at Cal State Dominguez Hills. So I'm happy and excited to be in front of you all today to tell you about all of our corporate career opportunities within farmers. So in this session, I will be sharing with you all a bit about farmers insurance, our intern/entry level opportunities, and we're currently looking for interns right now. So we'll talk about that towards the end. And you'll also be hearing from 3 of our farmers leaders discussing corporate opportunities in finance, underwriting, and claims. So lots to get into. And then from there, we will have a Q&A forum in which we want this to be as interactive and educational as you would like it to be. So please feel free to ask us questions, and we're here to answer all of your questions. So please feel free, don't be shy. Yeah. So just to start off, I wanted to recognize some of the awards that Farmers Insurance has won over the years. We're recognized as one of the great places to work, 100 best companies to work for, as well as best workplaces for diversity. I know D&I is a hot topic. Best places to work for LGBTQ. Yeah, so that's a few of the awards that we've won. We definitely strive every single year to make sure that our employees are happy here at Farmers. So before we jump in, I want to hear from you guys. We want to know kind of what is one of the most important things you look for in a future company. So if you would like, please feel free to enter in the chat room kind of what is something that's like #1 important. There's so many things, right? Flexibility, company culture, compensation and benefits, security and stability. What is one of your top things that you look for? And feel free to enter them in the chat. And I'll give it a second. All right, we got security and benefits, definitely important. Growth within a company. I like that. I will say at Farmers, I've been with Farmers for about 1.5 years now, and just seeing all of the different opportunities that they have to grow. You can start in claims and then end up in HR. There's promotional opportunities within the department that you're in, as well as in other areas. There's so many people who started in one area and end up in another area. So I'm sure you guys will hear more about that later on as well. So we would love to provide you all with a few quick facts about Farmers. First, starting off at Farmers, we value the diversity and potential of every individual. So we exceed customer expectations and we stand up for what is right. We have a unique business model, and within that unique business model, we have a unique culture in our community outreach, our D&I efforts, our business, and the people that make up that culture. So starting with our Farmers community outreach, here at Farmers, we're committed to standing with communities through the unexpected. As you guys probably have seen in our different commercials that we have, or our outreach programs when, we have certain hurricanes around the country, or even the fires. We provide our time and resources to help make a difference in the communities where our customers, agents, and employees live, work, and play. So you'll you'll see there in that left chart of, you know, our impact that we have in 2019. So every year we go back to see what we've done, and that's our latest of 2019. So we'll have a new one coming in January, February for 2020. Our outreach, so D&I inclusion, so diversity and inclusion, our ERGs, you'll see that the list here is our employee resource groups. So these are voluntary employee-led groups dedicated to fostering a diverse and inclusive work environment within the context of Farmers' mission, our values, our goals, our business practices, and our objectives. So Farmers values and embraces our employee diversity. And how we describe diversity, there's so many ways you can describe diversity, and to us, it's the different dimensions that make a person and an individual, and drives inclusion through a culture that empowers employees to connect, contribute, engage, and fulfill their potential. So that's important. And I know when I was looking for a new company, one of the things that was important to me was that diversity and inclusion, a way that I will be able to make a difference within my company, within my ideas. And I found that Farmers has these employee resource groups that I can be a part of a community within a larger community. So you'll see that we have a Black Professionals Alliance, which we call our BPA, LGBT and allies, our SOMOs, our women's inclusion, and the list goes on. So a few Farmers facts are we have enterprise mentoring, we have LinkedIn Learning, we develop your career plan, we determine your next step, we help you focus on that continuing learning. And outside of University of Farmers, we also offer Farmers tuition assistance for continued education. We have a focus on innovation and technology to help our customers. We developed the first mobile claims center fleet to serve customers impacted by natural disasters. So that's basically this huge, large bus that goes to natural disasters and helps those who are in need. Oops, sorry. And then we have over 20,000 employees within our Farmers enterprise. And those are our top 10 locations as of June 2020. That changes when we hire or when we have employees leave and go to different opportunities. So that's our top. So our top 3 is Grand Rapids, Michigan, Woodland Hills, and Olathe, Kansas. What career areas are you seeking? We would love to know, what are you looking for? And this kind of opens a door to what is your major, right? Depending upon what your major is, or if you're a freshman or sophomore, you guys are probably stepping into, you know, your GE classes and stepping into finding what you actually want to do as a career. So if you would like, please feel free to enter in what area you are seeking in your future career. And as you guys are adding that in the chat room, like I mentioned, we're a corporation. We're not just, we just don't hire agents, right? So we have different opportunities in engineering, underwriting, marketing, human resources. Somebody said technology and analytics. We have a strong IT department, public relations, learning and development. I see business, I see finance, I see human resources, which is the department that I am in. There's so many opportunities that we have here within our corporate side of Farmers. So you'll see in that slide that, you know, all the different areas that you can go into. Awesome. So without further ado, I know you guys probably heard a lot of me talking. I want to introduce our first presenter that will be talking about our finance opportunities, which I did see somebody in the chat say that they are interested in finance. So without further ado, Thomas, please feel free to take the lead.
All right. Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Thomas now, and like Jamia, I am an alumni of Cal State Dominguez Hills. It is a pleasure to meet my fellow Toros. Now, we would have loved to have hosted you on campus in Woodland Hills, but I'm glad that we found this alternative. So I would also like to recognize our veterans and military families, as November, if you do not know, is Veteran and Military Families Month. And also tomorrow is Veterans Day. And as a veteran myself, and if there's any other veterans in the group, thank you for your service. And if you know a veteran, please thank them for their service. So I'd like to kind of tell you a little bit about myself first. Since I think most of you are Angelinos, you probably picked up my accent as LA Koreatown. So I too am an Angelino. Go Dodgers, go Lakers. I immigrated to the United States with my parents when I was 6 years old, and I grew up in Koreatown. And after I went to CSUN, Cal State Northridge, a sister college of Dominguez Hills for my undergrad, and I did my MBA at Cal State Dominguez Hills. But after college, I briefly served in the U.S. Army as a finance officer. And after the Army, I had two accounting job offers. And one was from a technology semiconductor company in Simi Valley. And another one was from a life insurance company in West Los Angeles. And it was a tough choice for me. They were both kind of entry-level accounting jobs. They paid the same. But at the end, I chose the insurance company, and it came down to they have free lunches at the insurance company. So it kind of was reverse of what it is today. I got used to free food in the Army, so I thought I'd continue with that. So so I accidentally got into the insurance industry. But I stayed for 30 years, and I chose to stay. I had other opportunities, but I just love what our industry does for our customers and our society. Our industry provides over $1 trillion to the economy, and if you know anything about insurance, most of the money we get in premiums, we pay back in terms of losses, our employee expense, agent commissions. So we really pretty much put like 99% of our income back into our customers and society. And we employ more than 1 million people in the general economy. And more importantly, our mission of restoring people's life after a loss, where we rebuild communities after catastrophes, probably Devin may talk more about that, and how we underwrite and we help customers advise to how to protect themselves. And yes, sir, may touch on that. But my role within the insurance company has always been in finance. And farmers has let me talk about farmers, right? So farmers, most of the jobs are actually in Woodland Hills. We do have finance jobs throughout the country, but they are in our major centers that you saw that Jamia had up. But the major corporate finance departments are, the biggest is accounting, and then we have PPM, planning, performance, and management. So accounting does all the financial and management reporting, as well as the fundamentals of reconciliations, control environments, and the planning performance management does all the budgeting, forecasting, and a lot of places call that financial planning and analysis as well. And obviously, we need a treasury function with our banking, cash management. Insurance companies have a large investment portfolio. We have something called reserves, and so we set aside money to pay future claims, and we also have some capital, and with that we invest. So Farmers has over $20 billion in investments. So we have an investment department that manages our investment department actually manages investment banks or investors like Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, real estate company Clarion. So they manage the managers, and then we have every business unit has a support finance function that does strategic planning, decision-making support. And then obviously we have other departments like tax, financial systems. These are all departments you see in all major corporations. But being an insurance company, we have two additional just kind of insurance-specific finance departments. One is actuaries. So they're the mathematicians that sets our pricing and reserving. So we have a separate actuarial department within corporate finance. And then we have a department called reinsurance. So part of our risk management of an insurance company is we share our risk with other companies. So for like large catastrophes, we have reinsurance where we insure ourselves for mega events. And those are pretty much the finance jobs. So maybe there's a lot of different career paths, a lot of different opportunities. So you can maybe follow kind of my career path, and you can see that I saw earlier in the comment that want security and growth opportunity, and I think my own personal career kind of demonstrates that. So I started at a different insurance company. I worked 7 years in accounting at Executive Life, Transamerica, and Allianz. And I started at Farmers in '96, in an accounting specialist role, which is like an assistant manager. And so I did financial reporting for external, internal. And then I had manager positions in multiple departments, including financial system. I was part of a implementation team that we put in a new financial system. I also worked in product management. I worked in claims. And then I also had a variety of opportunities where where I had mentors and coaches that developed me throughout my career, and the company had given me progressively more responsibility, and they set me up for success because not only did they give me new jobs, they gave me the resources, and frankly, I made a lot of mistakes. They forgave me for that mistake. I think the company saw that as an investment in me. But what I did over my 30-year career is since I started, I wanted to be successful. I was ambitious. So I observed people that were already successful. So when I was an accountant, I looked at my managers and I looked at the directors and the executives. And over this 30 years, I think I found the common qualities that they all share. And I'd like to share that with you. Foremost, I believe that all successful people that I know, regardless of just not a farmers, but my experience outside the company and industry groups, and my experience in the Army, is that they all have high standards and they all expect those of others around them. So always have high standards and expect those with anybody that you work with. And then second, they were leaders. And then the thing that I think that made them great leaders was that they genuinely care for others. They were team players. They coach other people. They mentor. And you have to have strong communication and interpersonal skills. But it really comes down from genuinely caring for that other individual. And the third thing that I've seen them all have is intellectual curiosity, kind of critical thinking. They're dissatisfied with the status quo, and they're always driving to make things better. And the fourth is everyone faces challenges in their life and their careers. I've had many in my job, but they have the grit and they have the perseverance the tenacity to overcome obstacles, and to get through difficult times. So they're looking for solutions, and you will have challenges throughout your career and life, and it's how you respond to those. And finally, I think the most important thing that all successful people have, and without this, you can have short-term success, but you cannot have long-term success, and it's integrity and the courage to do the right thing. And there'll be times that you would have challenges, but always pick the right path. So I think we're going to go through the speakers, and I'll have Q&A after the other two speakers. So
Thank you so much. That was great tips. I almost got out my pen and paper to write some of those tips down. So hopefully you guys got those and was able to remember those. And that was spoken from, the CFO. As you can see on his timeline, where he started, especially with his career at Farmers Insurance, and was able to start as an accounting specialist, and look where he's at now. So thank you so much. So next we'll have a presentation on underwriting.
Thank you, Jamia, and thank you, Thomas. That is a tough act to follow in terms of experience and all the wisdom you shared. So, I've been excited to come here and talk to everyone here and share my experience here at Farmers and tell you a little bit about underwriting. So my name is Yasser Nama, and I've been with Farmers for about 5.5 years, and I'll tell you, it goes really quick. A little bit of my background. I grew up in Chicago, so I'm not a native Angelino, and I attended DePaul University. I moved from Chicago to LA right when about the time I started at Farmers. The move actually came first. A couple of my friends and I decided to just pack up and move out west and kind of follow a dream that we had. And luckily I found myself at Farmers, which was a perfect career transition at the time. Some fun facts about myself. I can speak, read, and write Arabic fluently, as I'm also an immigrant. I moved here when I was really, really young. And, I love great trips to any of our national parks here in California. I definitely take advantage of that. Great hiking and natural beauty. And I also make candles as a hobby. So in my career, before Farmers and during Farmers, my experience ranges from corporate finance, product management, underwriting strategy and deployment, some tech innovation work, vendor management and integration, and then also project management. In addition to that, I've also been an active member of the employee resource groups. Jamia did a great job of highlighting those. I think they're really important, and they build a lot of the culture that we have of inclusivity here at Farmers. And to me, that's really big. And I've spent a good chunk of my time being a leader for LGBT and allies. So, at the start of my career, I started out actually at Allstate Insurance outside of Chicago. My first job was working in finance. So I was a financial analyst at the life company. I later on had a position on the property and casualty side, focusing on home insurance as a senior analyst. In that role, we got to support product management leadership with results reviews and reporting. And that's really where I first got my taste and interest in product management. Fast forward, and I'm gonna walk you guys through some of my experience here because I started off in one area and ended up in several others that, you don't necessarily are taught that career path, but I want to just highlight the importance of that. And, fast forward, when I had the chance to move to LA, I found my next step here at Farmers in product management. So I worked on managing our auto product line in Texas, which primarily was a lot of our business and pricing strategy. And when I joined the team at that time, I think the whole insurance industry was experiencing a profitability challenge with the change in the economy after the last recession. And, I got to work on a lot of interesting profitability and underwriting projects, and I partnered with the underwriting team. So that kind of led to my current role and one of my favorite roles. And on the team, we got to manage a lot of our system processes. You know, we make it possible for our agents and customers to be able to get a quote, be able to sell and service a policy, and do everything really in between. We work on establishing our underwriting rules that help the company, you know, grow profitably, and we implement those system changes by partnering, you know, throughout the organization. So we work with product management, our pricing, R&D, actuarial. We partner heavily with finance, as Thomas knows, and IT engineers, marketing, legal compliance, you know, the whole gambit. And we help develop these proposals and take the projects through completion. Currently, I'm actually starting to transition to a new role. It's still within underwriting, but it's a very different function. And it's where I'm going to be doing more of a vendor management role. And a lot of that work that I just highlighted, the way what makes it possible is I work with a long list of external companies. And these companies provide us data, technology, and other support services to help us improve the experiences of our agents and customers and make us a lot more efficient at what we do. And I'll get into that a little bit shortly. And then I want to kind of highlight two of my favorite accomplishments to just show you like diversity of work and things that we get to do here at Farmers. The first one is, you know, there's a work stream where we got to deliver, you know, a digital transformation strategy to our leadership, and to help us reimagine how to innovate our agent quoting process to help to compete with some of the newer, you know, tech and digital age companies that are coming up, and help keep farmers competitive. And we had, you know, a lot of success in helping influence that strategy and assisting in any way we can. Then on a more personal level, with my work with the employee resource groups here in LGBT and Allies, during the time that I was the leader here, we helped find funding, and we found support from a lot of our executive leaderships and our peers to host actually the first home office Pride participation, and we got to participate in the Orange County Pride Festival back in 2019. I know COVID, unfortunately, has different plans for everything and everyone in 2020, but we look forward to making more progress in future years. Now, on the next slide, what's life like in underwriting? So underwriting is, it's part of the heart of insurance, any kind of insurance. And we are a part of everything that we do here at Farmers, and have a big hand in a lot of our operations that really help Farmers function as a company. So, you know, there's a lot of cross-functional nature in the work that most teams do here at Farmers, and underwriting is no exception. And we always are involved on some level with most things that happen. And through that, underwriting employees get to experience the company in a really great broad sense, where you get an idea of what others do, how each of our jobs add value to the overall mission and the success of the company. I do want to highlight the diversity in people and career. So, you know, we highly value diversity in our people as well as our career paths. You know, in underwriting, we have a lot of different functions and teams that I'll get into here. And, you know, underwriting represents people with varied backgrounds and experience. Anything from people with finance, product, service operation, claims, marketing, and compliance. You'll see that we collect a really big, broad skill set overall. And we need that balance of the skill set and knowledge to kind of be good at what we do. And we do value that in our employees. So I listed here some of the teams in our department. We have a strategy team. We have the process deployment team. So that's the one I am on. We have field underwriting, account underwriting, and then data and analytics that was recently just moved to kind of a larger data team for the organization, which has been a really good move. So we have a mix of like underwriting philosophy, strategy, product management, service operations, and technical knowledge. And the two teams that really help in that area are the strategy team and process deployment. And that's where we come up with new proposals, how we shift our underwriting strategy and implement the changes and work to deliver those projects. The next two teams that I combine would be kind of our actual underwriting teams. We have account underwriters. These are underwriters that provide a very necessary support function. They review policy submissions and requests. They can make changes or accept and deny new policies that do not meet our underwriting criteria and do that type of work. And then we have field underwriters that they manage more of a larger territory or sometimes state and help provide guidance, consult, and do account reviews and help our product and larger underwriting teams determine what's going on. They're great. They're also another really necessary function. And then data and analytics, while the data team moved to a different, under a different organization, they still do the same work they do with us today. They provide us the data analytics, they have data scientists, and they really help support a lot of the work that we do and help us figure out how to best move forward. So here in underwriting overall, you know, with what's your path, we have a great mix of opportunity and paths. Anything from traditional underwriting support roles as discussed to career paths for those interested in data science and analytics, technology integration, strategy and operations. There's a function here in underwriting for those kind of skill sets. And we do have a huge hand in influencing our strategies for the big picture goals. You know, overall, Farmers, we're always looking to improve our customer and agency experience, being able to grow profitability, having trouble with that word today. We have a really strong penchant for innovation, automation, and focus on how we can add value, and we all contribute to those goals. You know, my overall career advice, I've had a varied path in how I started and where I ended up. And what I found is you can always start in one place and learn about the job, learn about the skills, and take those skills that you find and figure out what your next interest is. Sometimes it's that very same career path you want to stick to, and sometimes you find it in a different team or function. And you can start following those. You can figure out what suits your personality better and how you can best contribute to the success of the team and company. So don't be afraid of new challenges or paths as they come up, and write yourself into the script. Find, you know, into the script or the fabric of Farmers or wherever you end up. You know, it's your career and you have to make it what you want it to be. You have to find the right mentors. You have to work hard. You have to have patience. Things don't happen overnight, and have the willingness to put yourself out there. And I want to highlight a couple things that Thomas noted, which is, you know, you have integrity and grit. You want to do things the right way, and you know, you want to be able to persevere a lot of the challenges that come up, and we all have our different ones. And lastly, I kind of wanted to talk about working remote. I know we live in an environment today where everyone's working remotely, and that might be a challenge that you feel, you know, starting out your careers is, you know, I might get a disadvantage, or how do I even go about this? You know, I haven't had to start my career entirely working remotely, but we've always had that capability and we used it. And we also have tons of team members located in different areas in the country, and we've always worked with them very effectively. I recommend, you know, setting up individual time with your manager and team members, to work directly with each other. And just like even when you're in the office, while you're missing out on coffee breaks and water cooler talk, the best time spent is planned mentorship and planned meetings and things that you can find productive ways to connect with your coworkers. And those are the ones that make a difference, whether you're in the office or not. So I think you have to be very intentional and proactive about connecting, and don't be afraid to show your personalities, but you will do well. And this is a world we're all learning at the same time as well. And that's all I have for underwriting. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. That was great tips, especially in the working remotely environment. And I know all of you guys are going to school virtually, and it's definitely a transition from being in person and learning with your professor in person versus, you know, being in front of a computer all day. But we've managed, and Farmers Insurance, definitely, we went out back in March, and it's just amazing to see our continued success with working from home. And another thing, I don't know about you guys, but I never heard of a career in underwriting until I came to Farmers Insurance. So if you've heard of underwriting before, go ahead and enter in the chat and say, yes, you've heard of a career in underwriting, or no. I'm just curious because I personally never heard of it. So give me a yes or no if you've heard of underwriting before. No. Nice, nice. So this is new. So I mean, like you mentioned, you know, you can be a finance major or a business major, and get into underwriting. So hopefully, you know, you found some things interesting from his presentation, and maybe you will consider a career in underwriting or tell your friends about, you know, a career that you can have. All right. So lastly, we will have our claims presentation by Devin.
Thanks, Jamia, and thank you all for inviting us here. As Thomas noted, it's been great to do this in person, but glad that we're embracing the virtual presence and still being able to interact with you all. So I'll go through my personal components pretty quickly because I do want to leave a little time for Q&A, but I'll start with a little bit about me. So I am from Lindale, Texas, Tyler, Texas, small town in East Texas, and I'm going to drop a couple names on you all now, celebrity names. So I went to high school with Miranda Lambert. You know, Miranda Lambert, went to high school with her. And I'm also related to Patrick Mahomes, who's quarterback for the Chiefs, if you hadn't heard of him. So he's a distant cousin of mine. So small town East Texas is where I'm from. Down below, you see my wife, my beautiful wife, and my 2 kids. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So hopefully they don't run in here on me in the middle of the presentation. But I have my family here in Arlington, Texas. I went to school at Texas State University, which is in San Marcos. While I was there, I played football, wide receiver. I played there 4 years and got my degree in mathematics. I have a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, minor in business. And that picture below in the right there was really just me portraying where I was 15 years ago. So I've been with the company 15 years. I was in your boat, your shoes 15 years ago, graduating college or near graduating college and looking to see what opportunities were out there. And I actually learned about farmers at a job fair at my university. And I got a chance to learn more about what farmers offered, apply for the role. And one of the factors that made me select farmers is it was really important to me. As you guys can probably imagine, I'm pretty competitive. I wanted a place that was performance-based and had opportunity for me to grow. So when I learned about farmers and all the opportunities that were within claims and even outside of claims, that was a great fit for me. So I started, move up top here, I started as a liability claim representative in Houston, Texas, so entry-level role. I started and I investigated liability claims, and so from auto accidents, if there were injuries, determining fault. You know, things were different back then, didn't have the same technology, so a lot of it was out in the field. Now we're actually able to use a lot of virtual tools to investigate accidents and things like that. But that's where I started in 2005 and moved through a couple different positions, moved up to supervisor pretty quickly, and then actually became a manager, which relocated me from Houston to Phoenix, Arizona. So farmers relocated me to Phoenix, Arizona, lived out there for 3 years, and transitioned back to Texas in the Dallas area where I am currently. I've been through a couple roles, and I currently serve as head of casualty and strategy for business insurance. So what I do is I lead the operations that handle the claims from our business insurance policies for liability exposure. So if you think about slip and falls in restaurants or food poisoning type of claims, those are the ones that my group manages. And then also have strategy for business insurance, which is working with the head of our department on our strategic focal areas and tools, technology, and things that fall into that category is where strategy falls in. So a little bit about me. I'll go ahead and transition to the next slide. So hopefully you heard of claims. Hopefully you hadn't had a claim or had to experience a claim, but hopefully you've heard of claims. So this is a slide to really just give a little insight to what we do. The first component there is our mission statement. And I'll go ahead and read that. It says, be the leader in delivering peace of mind, innovating for customers whenever and wherever they need us. And that's the one thing in claims that you get a chance to do. The peace of mind portion, the innovation, but the peace of mind portion is where I really focus, because when people get into accidents or if they're in if they're property loss and that, you know, their home is gone, like these are people that really need help, and we really value the fact that we're able to assist customers. And as a claims rep, that's one of the things in my entire claims career I fell in love with, is that you actually get to help people. You get that sense of, you get a lot of congratulations, a lot of people that will let you know how their life has changed after a claim significantly. And the fact that you're there to help them march along the way is something that is definitely rewarding as a career. And then to the right, these are just a few. We have, roughly 10,000 employees in claims. There's a myriad of departments, and these are just a few. I didn't list them all, but you have things from project management, there's data analytics, there's vendor management, there's different types of claims. So I started off in personal lines auto claims, and then I transitioned to business insurance. So that's where I am currently. So just a couple of different options that you have, and that's one thing that's great about working for a company like Farmers. It's well networked. Another thing I would just hit on is that we have a Farmers family atmosphere here as well, which is important. I think if you look into companies that you're going to work with, you want to make sure that you feel safe, you feel connected, you have the right developmental tools, and there's really a Farmers family atmosphere that I mean, I've had opportunities with other companies as well, but I haven't seen any of that compete with the atmosphere here at Farmers and how we look out for each other. And there's a team atmosphere within the organization that I really value. And then all the things you saw, the employee resource groups, diversity and inclusion is a major focal point. So we continue to put efforts there as well. And there's just a great amount of opportunities within the organization, and there's a good network that you can help you navigate through your career. So a couple things there. I go to the next slide because I didn't want to save a few minutes for Q&A. So here, just one thing about claims and all of our departments is we have a lot of focus on innovation. If you remember, that was on our mission statement, and we have a lot of nice tools that we leverage for claims now. So I'll touch on a couple of these. A lot of our interactions are virtual. We have technology with satellite imagery. We have leveraged drones to inspect roofs. We have virtual reality. Like virtual reality training sessions that we have that allow us to use virtual reality to have training versus role playing. I know a lot of people don't like role playing, so we leverage some virtual reality tools. And then the mobile claim center, Jamia got a chance to touch on this. This is what you see down here, the mobile claim center, and that's really a claim center on office, claim center on wheels, and it's top of the line technology that customers, whenever they have these type of events where they've lost their home, their clothes, they've lost all these things, they're trying to figure out what the next steps are. We actually come in with our catastrophe response team, and the customer is able to come into an air conditioned building with Wi-Fi, TVs. They have a grill that they'll pull out and cook for the customers while they're waiting, and allow them to process their claim in an office type environment. So just a few highlights of the innovation, but that's something that we put a lot of focus on. So one thing you would be able to interact with in this type of capacity is being able to leverage a lot of different technologies within insurance. So with that, I'll pass it back to Jamia. I know you want to save a couple minutes for Q&A. So we appreciate the time with you all here today.
Nice. Thank you so much. I always enjoy the innovation slides just because it shows how we are keeping up with the times and we're adapting to the different changes throughout, in the world, and we're able to just keep up. So we have some pretty cool things. And if you guys were on our campus, our Woodland Hills campus, we have what we call Innovation Lab, which is a super cool lab, a collaborative space. We have an X lab and an I lab. Our I lab is where you can collaborate with your team, go in the room, write on the boards, and just get different new ideas. And we've transitioned to it being a virtual board. And then we have our X Lab, where what Devin was talking about, you're able to role play, you're able to put these goggles or whatever you call it. I know you guys who play games a lot, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. But you're able to just go and train in and get a live interaction with somebody. So yeah, I can go on and on. But anyway, I want to open this time up to you guys to ask any questions. I know there was a lot of information that you got, but if there's any questions that you have on any of the presentations that we went over, finance, underwriting, claims, or any questions that you found, please feel free to enter them in the chat and we could address them. And I'll give it a few seconds.
Hi, my name is Vanessa. I just joined. I was having trouble with my connection. So I apologize for showing up late, but I was wondering if you guys are going to send out the slides. That way I can maybe take a look at them.
Yes, we can. I can make some changes and send it over to you if you would like.
Jamia, don't worry about it. What we'll do is since I'm recording the session, we can
Oh, perfect.
session. So Vanessa, if you're checked in, make sure you type in your Toro mail. If you're checked in, you'll get an email from the Career Center, and I'll attach this from our YouTube channel so you can see.
Thank you so much.
And Toros, take this as an opportunity to not just ask specific questions about farmers, but even now, like how they're managing working virtually, like we all are, because we as well have been virtual since March, and we are not expected to go back until probably end of next semester. And as Jamia mentioned at the beginning, we've been working on trying to create a partnership since last fall. And then COVID hit, and we had a great program plan for the spring, so we had to adjust. So I think that's one of the big things with the virtual environment is it gives you the flexibility to adjust and to innovate and think of different things. So take this time to really ask questions and grow. I do want to thank all of you all for sharing your very different experiences. I think it's very helpful to help the students understand that your career path isn't always linear, right? So you go through different experiences, and it's nice to hear the experiences of others as you determine what your career path is.
Can I say it instead of typing it, because it's probably going to be a little long and personal?
Sure, go for it.
Well, thank you. I just want to say thank you to you guys in the panel, because it was very insightful and I learned a lot. And one of the things that stuck with me is that there's so much career development and there's so much growth that it can lead from one thing and then you like something else and it grows onto something even bigger, you know? Me personally, I'm a business management major, and I am curious about what type of entry positions do you think I would qualify for, or where should I start at?
Nice. Great question. Let's see. I'm going to pass it to somebody, but one of the main reasons. Oh, go.
Oh, sorry.
Go for it.
Oh, I was just going to say, just my advice is keep an open mind. There's a lot of functions. I think I've seen in product and finance, we've hired people with business management majors before. I think what people look for is like, things like, critical thinking and how you apply yourself to your work and whatnot. We've also seen people that start out in claims or in underwriting or service operations, and kind of like my career has led me to different teams and different functions I never thought I would do before. Sometimes you just kind of follow that path and see what happens. So there's multiple opportunities, and you just have to put yourself out there for them.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback that. I mean, I think that's a great point. So I majored in mathematics, as you probably heard earlier, and I thought I had my heart set at being an actuary until I actually got into claims and got an opportunity. So I know I've hired people with business management degrees. Typically, it just depends on the skill set and what you're looking to accomplish within your career. So I agree. Definitely keep an open mind and ensure that you just have a good place that you can move throughout your career and have options if for some reason you want to try something different. So that's the one great thing about farmers.
All right, thank you.
And then just to mention, one of the main reasons why, like you saw in one of the first slides, is all the different opportunities that we have, and we decided to highlight claims, finance, and underwriting, because those are some of the 3 departments that we have available, that we have entry-level opportunities. Our internship program is a main entry way into farmers, as well as claims, finance, and underwriting. There's some opportunities that may have, or some lines of businesses that may have entry-level opportunities, but those are the 3 main ones. The other ones may require certain experiences or college level, or a degree, things like that. So yeah, we do have a question in the chat for Thomas. What entry-level jobs would you advise to develop skills and grow into becoming a successful CFO?
Thank you for that question. Entry-level jobs, I've seen CFOs that actually had started out in non-finance jobs and moved moved to CFO roles in insurance. It's usually someone who's been in finance. So entry-level jobs, you can get into any job, but whatever job you do get into, it's important that you become a master in that technical portion of the job, right? And so that regardless of whatever entry job, it could be in claims, it could be in underwriting, and you do an excellent job in either claims or underwriting, service departments, wherever you might be. And so once you become the technical expert, then in order to become an executive, you really have to then transfer your skills where you kind of look at the glide path of everyone. As you become the technical expert, you have a mastery. You have to develop a mastery in your technical area, and then you have to have the ability to teach others. So you have to be a supervisor, and you have to teach others that mastery. So if you want to move into a manager role, then you actually have to be a leader of leader, and you have to learn how to teach other people how to teach. And then after that, then it becomes more strategic and business knowledge. But you can go into any entry level job, but whatever you do, just develop a mastery of whatever you do first. That's the most important part.
Nice. Any other questions? Let's close out. A lot of great information that was shared during the presentations. Hopefully you guys were able to really enjoy it and really have some great takeaways for, not only just career opportunities, but, career development, how to, manage working in a virtual environment, things like that. Cool. All right, so just a few closing slides. For those who are looking for summer internships for 2021, we have 4 amazing summer internship opportunities that we're currently accepting applications today within business insurance and personal lines. We will have more of our opportunities available coming up between now and in the springtime. We have internships within IT. We'll have about 24 information technology opportunities that will be posted between now and the springtime. Stay on the lookout for those. We have a few in finance, probably a few in human resources and marketing, depending upon. So if you are interested in any of those, especially the ones that will be coming along, you could go on our farmersinsurance.com/careers and create a profile. And then when you create a profile, you're able to set up alerts to get alerted when a job that you are interested in becomes available. We also have some full-time opportunities available. Not that many entry-level opportunities, but again, stay on the lookout, set alerts on what you're interested in. And another great thing, or I'm not sure if it's depending upon your interest, most likely our internship again will be in a virtual environment for summer 2021. We were able to have a very successful summer 2020 internship hosted virtually. And it was just amazing just to see how we were able to still foster that experience even in the virtual environment. I mean, I know myself, I live in Los Angeles, so there's a lot of traffic, and I live in the South Bay, right near Carson, in Torrance, and I used to go to the Woodland Hills office every day or 3 days out the week because I started working remotely. So since I've been in the virtual environment, I personally love it because I don't have to sit in LA traffic for an hour and a half going back and forth to work. So that's a positive thing about it. And then just like how seeing how we were able to even increase our relationships with our teams by, hosting team huddles, hosting different game, evening game nights, things like that, that we used to host with our team. So we're still able to, you know, still have our farmers culture, even in a virtual environment. I got a question. Can we keep in contact with each of you? Of course you can. We all have a LinkedIn. You could find us on LinkedIn. I know Thomas just entered his email address as well. We have our @ThisIsFarmers Instagram account. If you would like to get out your phones, you can go ahead and scan that QR code below. And this is a great opportunity for you guys to really get to know Farmers Insurance. I know you guys got a little taste of it today, but it provides an inside look at farmers, our culture, open positions, tips and tricks, etc. And then we have a LinkedIn, we have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook. Feel free to follow us there on our social media accounts. And again, lastly, just to reiterate our ambition statement that our CEO, Jeff Daly, just announced a few months ago. You know, Devin touched base on it earlier in his presentation, but just leaving you guys with be the leader in delivering peace of mind, innovating for customers whenever and wherever they need us. So thank you all for joining. We hope to meet you guys in person one day, and we hope to see your application come in for our positions and to stay in contact. So thank you all for taking time out of your day. Have a great rest of Tuesday.
Thank you so much, Jamia. Everyone, thank you so much, Devin, for taking the time to talk to the students. It's always great to have Toro's back to share. I'm also an alum of the university, so it's always nice to partner, share our experiences, and help our students grow professionally. So thank you so much for making this happen. I was taking notes myself, so I learned a couple of things with students that I work with. So thank you again.
Thank you so much for allowing us the opportunity, Brenda. Have a good one.
See ya.